Welcome back, Spurs fans, to the Scott Hepler Football Channel. Today we're doing our predicted ponderings, where we're discussing the upcoming Tottenham Wovlerhampton match, and we're going to discuss the lineup that I think the Spurs should play. So we're going to ponder upon the team that should be out there, in my opinion, not the team that Mason's probably going to play, which is all his buddies from his playing days. So with that being said, we're just going to get right into this. Before we do, though, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I noticed that on a lot of recent videos, I've got a lot of views from unsubscribed people, somewhere in the range of 70%. So if you're viewing these and you continue to view these, I definitely would appreciate your support. If you have thoughts and comments as we go through all this, leave them down in the comment section. Let's all have a discussion and debate about this team that we're passionate about. And if you enjoy the video, hit that like button. Definitely appreciate it. So to start off with, I think the formation should be a 4-4-2. Now, in the midfield four, I think it should be more of a diamond. And I've been saying this for weeks. And Mason doesn't want to listen to me because he's got all his buddies he wants to play with or used to play with that he wants out there. And to me, this is the best formation to get the most out of the best players that we have available to us. Which, speaking of that, we still don't have Davies back. Davies, it's looked like maybe out the rest of the season. So he's really our only injury, our only issue, and everyone else should be available. So going into the players that should be in this formation, in the 4-4-2 and the diamond formation, of course, Lloris in goal. Lloris has actually been playing a lot better the last month or so, I'd say. About the last month, he's been playing a lot better. The issues of goals conceded is because of the defense and the midfield, not because of him in most of the cases that I've been identifying. So we're going to put Lloris in goal. And why wouldn't you? So out on the outside, left outside back, with Davies being out, you got to put Reguilón in there. He's not been very good. He's been at best average and then below average even a number of times. But he's really our only option and the best option we have available to stick out there. That's just where we're at. We're limited with this team. And we're limited with decent and good options. So, he is the best option we have. The kid's still growing. He's still learning. He's 23, I believe. So, he's going to make mistakes. But he does provide us things that just throwing a Doherty out there or a Jaffet on that side, I don't think is a good option either. So he gives us the best option out there. In the middle, the pairing that I think should be there, and I've been saying should be there, not only just for the past few weeks, but for, months, even when Jose was here, is Toby and Rodon. They need to be in there. I talked about it in my preview ponderings. Rodon's been the best player, or the best defender, not player, best defender for the past 2 months, even before Jose left. Even though we weren't doing well defensively, he was the only one that was a bright spot in those matches. By far the best center back that we have, at least been playing regularly. Toby, you can argue that he's a good, the best center back, but there's issues there too that we continue to see pop up with Toby, and Rodon to me is the best option. On the outside, on the right outside back, I think we need to have Jaffet in there. Again, I keep talking about this. Our defense needs to be solid for us to be successful in attacking and going forward. And we just haven't been that. And it's been proven the past 3-4 weeks that Mason's been in charge. And it's been proven all season long as when Jose's been in charge. When our defense is a mess, the entire team's a mess. And don't get me wrong, I know we got plenty of issues, but these four give us the best option to have a solid defense and not be so focused on pushing these guys up to get in the attack. And especially this formation will help out with that too. So Japheth's out there, and he's proven he's a solid defender. He defends first and then thinks about moving forward. And that's kind of what we need right now. We need to make sure that we're not going to have errors and mistakes in that defensive grouping. All right, moving into the midfield. So out on the left outside, I'm going to put Song. I want Song out there. He does work back. He helps out within the defense, tracking back. He will be a solid player, and he provides that threat moving forward. In the holding position is going to be Højbjerg. Højbjerg's going to float in front of that back four all across that midfield. He's not going to be pivoting and moving up and back and up and back. He's going to be in that holding midfield in front of the defense the entire time. Don't want him moving up. That's why we got this diamond formation, to allow some forward players so he does not have to work into that. And all he has to do is sit there and put out fires all day long. And that's what he's best at, is putting out fires. And then out on the right outside midfield, I'm going to put Mora. Mora's done well when he's been in there playing midfield. He hasn't seen any really playing time since Mason's come on, which is frustrating because Mora was starting to play in well, and he was one of our better players over the previous month and a half. So why he's not in there, again, I think can only be because Mason's playing the people he knows, the people he's comfortable with, and his buddies from his playing days. So that's who I think needs to be in there. He'll provide, just like Son on the other side, a threat going forward. He will track back. He'll help defensively and provide a lot of energy for us. And all we need from him really, though, because he does it when he's centrally located, but he doesn't do it as well when he's on the outside, is we need him to continue to do what he does in the middle, and that's pick his head up, look around. Don't try to dribble through everybody. There's options available, even out on the outside, so use those options. He does get a little bit narrow-minded or focused on just driving and dribbling when he's on the outside, and that's my only concern with having him out there. But he does provide pace and quality for us out there that we wouldn't have otherwise. In the middle, it needs to be Ndombele. I typically prefer Ndombele's not in an advanced role, but in this setup, Ndombele won't have to track back all the time. He won't be in a pivot where he's moving up and back consistently. He's going to be more in an advanced role and stay up there a good amount of the time. So he won't have to wear himself out. This gives him an opportunity to be closer to the forwards and get engaged in the link-up play and the attacking play for the offense. He's one of our most creative midfielders. He needs to be there. He needs to be up front, and he needs to be playing. He hasn't been doing that, and overall, he is a far better option. Just this. And with this formation too, what this allows the midfielders to do, especially the two outside midfielders and Ndombele, is kind of float and interchange in between each other, and allows them a lot of fluidity rather than being so static because that's what seems to happen within our 4-2-3-1 setup that we often use, is there's a lot of static players, a lot of static motion, and people don't really move and flow in and out of their positions very well. This would allow that opportunity to happen, so there's a lot of flowing and movement between Son and Ndombele and Mora. Up top, going to put Kane. You can't not put Kane in there. I know he's had a rough few matches here. He was coming straight off the ankle injury into the Carabao Cup. And he still hasn't quite looked right since that ankle injury he had prior to that. Part of it, I think, is the way Mason keeps setting us up. He's not getting involved and engaged like he should be, in my opinion. And by setting us up in a 4-4-2 like this, we're going to put a partner up there with him. That allows Kane to not just have to stay up top, worry about being up top, and collecting those long balls and such. This allows him to be a little more free and mobile and move into space that's provided by this formation, and whatever they give us, whatever space they give us, he can move and get in there. And so it allows some fluidity up front too. And then on the other pairing up top, I'm going to say Bell. And I keep saying this, Bell needs to be up top because he can't be out on the outside. We can't rely on him to consistently track back. But we need him out there. We need his quality. We need his experience and what he can do on the pitch. And this allows him to keep from having to track back and fatigue so much too. This will allow him and Kane to interchange and confuse and frustrate the defensive line and those holding midfielders, those people right in front of the defense. So this creates a lot of problems, and it allows them not just to, work the center of the park. They can work the wings. They can work the wide areas and such if that's given to us, which is probably going to be something that happens if I expect the Wolves to run some sort of a three-back set, either a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, something of that nature. I don't expect them to go to a 4-2-3-1, which they occasionally do. I think they're really going to pack it in on us. And this allows the two guys up front to really move and not be such an easy target to guard, in my opinion. So this is where I think we should go. If we run this lineup with this formation, I think we can get a victory here. It won't be a astounding victory. It won't be something that blows the socks off of everybody, but I think we can get a 2-0, 2-1 win. If we do anything like Mason's been doing, any lineup that includes Sanchez, Aurier, Dyer, Ali, a draw is our best bet. And as I said, a draw is not going to do it for us. It's not going to get us to where we need to be in pushing into potential European competition. So that's what I think we need to do. Let me know what you all think. And we got to get a win if we want to keep talking about even the 6th or 7th, because my last top 5 ponderings placed us in 8th. And that's with us going 1-1-1. And this was not one of the wins. This was not the win. So this one right here, I think, dictates basically if our season's over or not with 2 matches remaining. Because if we don't get a win here, I think we're done as far as European competition. And then all we're trying to do is, are we going to finish 8, somewhere between 8th and 10th is what's going to happen if we don't get a win here. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you all think. And come on, you Spurs.